Have you seen those videos titled, "Do these things to go viral"? In those videos, they tell you to change these settings, switch these tags, make sure this feature is enabled, and include these keywords in your titles. But when you followed the instructions in those videos, did anything actually change? See, I'm a content creator who does this full time, whose videos have reached over 5 billion views, and I've grown millions of followers on not just one, not two, but 3 different platforms. So I have a hard time when I see coaches teaching content strategy, but they don't actually live as a content creator like I have for the past 6 years. In my 20s, I was working in banking, investments, and eventually equity compensation and corporate financial reporting because I wanted stability. But my true passion was making videos. So once I figured out how to create financial stability making content full time, I promptly quit my finance career and have been creating full time ever since. And making way more money while doing it thanks to the shape method I developed that I teach in my Viral Blueprint course. But let's back up. Let's say you've seen those viral hack videos, you trusted their advice, and you updated your YouTube settings. You made a better title, got your click-through rate up, and maybe your views changed a little bit. But did it make your content go viral? And what about your content outside of YouTube? What about your TikTok videos, your Instagram reels, and your shorts? The YouTube settings don't optimize those videos, so now what? And even if you're only creating on YouTube, how many of you made those changes as advised and nothing happened at all? Were those content creation gurus lying to you? Well, no, but sort of. See, changing those settings is technically part of optimizing for the algorithm. It's just that it doesn't work exactly the way that it's usually described, and there's more to the picture that's usually being left out. So I'm about to tell you 2 truths and a lie. The first claim is there's one undisputable thing that you actually need to do to go viral. The second claim is there's only one thing you need to do to accomplish that. And the third claim is changing your YouTube settings can make your content go viral. But which one of these claims is actually the lie? Can you guess? Number 1, it's true that there's one undisputable thing that you need to go viral, and that's watchable, easy to digest video ideas. Number 2, it's true that you need one thing to make that happen, and most people don't have it, which is why most people have never had a video go viral. What they need is a formula, like a viral blueprint you can turn to, where every time you duplicate the process, it works over and over again. So obviously, the third claim is the lie. At least it makes it sound more simple than it is, and it leaves out the crucial part of needing watchable content for that to work. So claim number 3 would be more accurately stated if it said that optimizing your YouTube channel can help with supporting long-term growth. But changing those settings alone isn't going to suddenly get people watching your videos longer. You can optimize your channel into oblivion, but if people aren't watching the content long enough, nothing's gonna change. People are scrolling away when they're scrolling away because of when the video stops engaging them or feeling interesting to them. They're not scrolling away because you didn't optimize your YouTube settings. And the algorithms honestly have come a long way in the last 5 years, so even if your channel is optimized terribly, which my Fleeting Films channel has pretty much always not been optimized well, the algorithm is still gonna find people to watch it. My Fleeting Films channel was getting millions of views before I ever optimized anything, and even after I did optimize it, nothing changed. The growth in views have always been based around what people are most interested to watch and if the content is meeting that need. See, this is the way that people think algorithms work versus how they actually work, and I'm gonna make a whole other video on this in more depth. They think that when you update your YouTube settings, you're saying, YouTube, show these types of people that are interested in these hashtags my videos. And then they think YouTube obediently responds with, yes sir or ma'am, I will find the perfect people based on your hashtags to see your video. But I, someone who arguably doesn't work at YouTube but is currently getting millions of views a month on multiple platforms, strongly believe that YouTube and all platforms take your channel settings and tags and hashtags as merely a recommendation. It might start out using those, but then it starts doing its own detective work, and it will always prioritize its own findings way higher than anything you've given it. It's like it's saying, hey, I see your hashtags, thanks for the suggestion, but I'm really good at what I do and I have a whole system behind me that knows exactly who's gonna be the best fit to show your next video to, regardless of how you titled it or what hashtags you use. And you might be thinking, well, how does it know who to show it to? Isn't that the point of the hashtags? How else would it know what type of content it is? Well, the answer to that question is another question. Have you ever seen a video on your feed that was in a niche that had nothing to do with the type of content you normally like to watch, but maybe you kind of liked it anyway? Or have you ever seen those videos that have no hashtags and still found you? It's because the algorithms don't need as much surface level metadata like keywords and hashtags as they used to. Sure, it might start out using hashtags in the beginning right after you publish the video, but it's also using words in the title, the caption, and the description. But even those won't be that important for long, because then it's looking at viewer behavior. So even if you put no hashtags, did no optimization, even if you did no title or video description, the algorithm would still eventually figure out what types of people are engaging with this video and continue to show it to similar people. The algorithms are really smart now. Just by tracking what people watched, who clicks on your channel, and then cross-referencing that information with what other people clicked on similar channels, it can conclude that these people who watched these videos videos that are similar to this person who clicked on your channel and watched your video will watch similar types of content, and it can therefore presume that your content should also be shown to those people. Okay, if that didn't make sense, in other words, optimization might be a bit helpful, but the algorithm is probably going to find the people who like your video anyway based on its own research and understanding of your behavior, and I believe that it prioritizes that information over anything that you could provide it in your YouTube settings, because it does its job really well and it's been doing it for a long time, and the algorithms are just really good at delivering content to the people who want to see it based on tracking what people are watching. Even if you accidentally mistitle or mistag a video, somebody's still going to watch that video almost all the way through, and based on the other content that that person watches, YouTube will know to show your video to the people who also watch the same video as that other person. So am I saying we should never optimize? Not at all. I think you should absolutely go for it, and I think it may even help point the algorithm in the right direction, especially when the video is first published and goes live. However, what worries me is that people see these videos that say change these 17 secret YouTube settings to go viral, and they'll do it and then they won't go viral because the video failed to inform them of the one thing that actually matters, teaching them how to make their content more watchable, which requires a careful strategy, how to harvest better ideas, how to develop them into something extraordinary, like what I teach using the shape method in my viral blueprint course. So then they're stuck thinking something is wrong with my channel settings because they're focusing on the wrong problem. It would be like if your car was out of gas and the mechanic said you just needed an oil change and a new battery. If you change the oil and battery but don't put gas in the tank, the car's still not going to get going. And the reality is, if you make your content watchable and people are watching it more than 50% of the way through, even if you used all the wrong hashtags, poor optimization, and tagged every video completely wrong, YouTube will still always find people for your content if it's being watched, because it's beneficial for YouTube to show people watchable, easy to consume content. Because as everyone knows, time is money to these platforms, and the more eyes they have on their platform for the longer periods of time, the more money they get from advertising revenue. So the algorithm will always be able to figure out who to show your content to, but the number of impressions it makes available to people will change based on how long people are watching your content compared to other content. Remember, the algorithm probably would have figured out for the most part who to show your content to regardless of your YouTube settings, but it can't make people watch your video longer. And this is exactly why I developed the shape method, to help creators who want to get more views but aren't sure why their current videos aren't getting as many views as others. It gives them a solid brainstorming ritual that helps harness your best ideas, even your most creative ones that are buried deep in your imagination. It then teaches how to take those top ideas from each brainstorming list and enhance them with a 5-step process called the shape method, making them scroll stopping and easier to watch. And you can get more info on this at viralblueprint.com. So here's the key takeaways. The first one is that the number one thing to do to go viral is developing solid ideas and executing them in a way that makes them as easy to watch as possible. Number two is find a solid process you can count on and duplicate so that your videos get lots of views over and over again. And number three is you can absolutely update your account settings and optimize your account, but don't expect it to make your video suddenly take off, because there may be a bigger issue of people just not watching your content for long enough. If you're new to this channel and you want to grow on any and all social media platforms, subscribe and leave me a comment letting me know what else you'd love to see here. In the next video, I'll share more about how the shape method that I teach in my viral blueprint course can help you get more views on your videos.